Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Friday Night Lights. We're live at Baseball Park for Harcher State League action. Tonight's game features the Wanneroo Giants versus the Gosnells Hawks. Wanneroo is taking the trip down the freeway to come down to Baseball Park this evening to face the local team right outside the gates. We should be in for a good one here. On the mound this evening will be number 19, Jacob Meyer, the import. My name is Guy Belair. I'm here with Paul Persig this evening. Paul, what do we know about Jacob Meyer?
Well, he's got a powerful left hand. He's a very good fastball pitcher, and we get the first pitch underway. As the first one down at the plate there, number 45, Taj Varga. He gets that first base hit to go, and he is on first. A good start for the Hawks right off the bat. And this is a very important game for both the sides. In fact, he's been caught there, so that'll be the end of him.
Yep.
But as we were saying, this is an important game for both these sides. Gosnells just outside the 5. The Wanneroo Giants, they are 5 from 5. They're unbeaten. They've got good depth in both their batting and their pitching. Looking forward to this one.
Pete Torpey's in his second year managing the Gosnells Hawks, so he's looking to get them into the playoff contention, into that top 5. So they had a good start to the season last year before having a young team that kind of faded down the stretch. So he's hoping to have a kind of a reverse of that one and look to surprise a few clubs here as we move forward throughout the season. Had a few different changes. We'll go over the lineups in just a second. That ball's going to be hit into shallow right field, and that one will be caught by Daniel Burke for the second out. So Luis Scaramilla retired. And that'll bring to the plate the shortstop, number 42, Calvin Butler. Giants have been a perennial playoff team. Once again, they find themselves with a strong fastball-throwing left-handed import. Their import from last season has found his way down the freeway a little bit over to Wembley, and rumor has it he will be on the Canberra Cavalry later this season. So they have done well to service themselves. Of course, mainstays will around defensively for the Giants. They line up like this. Daniel Bork is in right field. Drake Ingerton in center. Ethan Cooper in left field. Daniel Stevenson manning third base for about his 4th year in a row. Byron Armstrong Jr. over at shortstop. Jacob Santich at second base. Nicholas Riley moves from the outfield to the infield there at first base. Courtney Jones still behind the dish. As we said, facing Jacob Meyer right now, Calvin Butler.
Almost took a strike looking there, did Calvin Butler, but the count now 3-1. Jacob Meyer, just looking at his stats for this season, before this game, 63 pitches. And he's also had 2 strikeouts as well. It looks like Butler is going to be walking.
Miss a bit outside with that one, so Butler will draw a base on balls. Lineup for the Gosnells Hawks. Going through it, we've seen Rodney Tinney be the first out of the game. Luis Scaramilla flew out to shallow right as that second out. Calvin Butler just drew the walk. Jack Burt will be batting 4th. Robbie Adamson 5th. Jamie White in the 6th hole. Riley Hall 7th. Luke Houston 8th. We're going to have a stolen base attempt, and Courtney Jones is going to throw him out. So that's going to end the inning for the Hawks. After top of 1, 0s are our score. Wanneroo Giants will be coming up.
With a history of going the extra mile, Harcher has been a trusted wholesale distributor since 1986. Regional service and supply is what we do best, and you'll find everyone's favourite drinks, snacks, confectionery, and so much more, all here ready to deliver. Just tell us how we can help today.
Delivered together is our motto here at Harcher, because from our friendly customer service reps to our super reliable delivery drivers, we believe teamwork really does make the dream work. So if your dream is a wholesale supplier who'll always put you first, you've made the right call. See what we're all about at harcher.com.au.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love.
Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
We're here heading to the bottom of the first inning. If you're just joining us, Gosnells had 2 quick outs, got a runner on base, and promptly tried to steal, but was thrown out. Courtney Jones, strong arm there behind the plate, showing he's not going to have any base runners go against him much this season on a strong throw by both Meyer and then follow up there on the back end by Courtney Jones.
You're absolutely right there. It was a good strong arm from Jones in the catcher's plate to really catch out Butler while he was going on to steal second. So that's what you really need to really stop those fast runners from the Gosnells side. You don't want to concede any second bases to the strong arm of Jones.
Yeah, Jones had him by a couple of steps there. It wasn't really a close play. It looks like we're still just shoveling a little bit of dirt out from the slide there from Calvin Butler. So once we get the base reset in properly, we'll be back underway. In the meantime, we'll run through the lineups here for defensively for the Gosnells Hawks. Will look like this one. In right field will be Jamie White. In center field, Rodney Tinney. Left field will be Riley Hall. Over at third base is Louis Scaramilla. Shortstop, Calvin Butler. At second base will be Jared Mackay. First base, Robbie Adamson. Behind the plate, Luke Houston. And then on the mound for the Hawks this evening will be Jack Burt. What do we know about Burt, Paul?
Well, Burt, he's playing his 3rd game this season. From the mound, he's faced 52 of the opposition batters, and before today's game, he threw 164 pitches, and his record so far is very good. 14 strikeouts this season in the 2 games that he has been on the mound. So he's been in good form this season for a side that, got a good streak of wins together, then had a heavy loss last week to the Vic Park Belmont side, 17-2 on the 15th of October. And he didn't even pitch in that game, did Burt. It was only Butler and Berry. So Burt didn't get a crack on the mound for that loss last Sunday, but he's back there, which is, I think, a good move by the Hawks to really get those Wanneroo Giants batters wobbling on the plate.
Yeah, Peter Torpy in his 2nd year managing the Gosnells Hawks, so we've had a few things change defensively. I think Luke Houston is going to be a mainstay behind the plate for him. He's been a catcher for the WA state teams, youth teams, 16s, 18s, coming through the system. Had a little bit, so they have a little bit of experience. They've lost a few players from last year, so new to the lineup, as I recall, looks to be Rodney Tinney there in center field. I believe that is their import for this year as well. So, again, imports, you can only play 2 in a game, and if one pitch, they have to not pitch the next game. So they do have to sit out a game in a row. So if he would have thrown on Sunday, then obviously this Friday night lights game turns over to everything else that we've got. We're still waiting on the packaging of the base here. Looks to be once the all experience of Brett Robson came over, and I think that's Brett. Could be wrong, but
looks like second base there has just been sorted out. As you said, a little bit of extra dirt while Butler was looking to steal second by sliding into the plate, but got caught short thanks to the strong arm of Jones there. So it looks like we're all sorted and we can get action underway.
Offensively for the Giants, the lineup looks like this. Batting first will be Ethan Cooper. Batting second, Drake Angeron. Batting third will be Byron Armstrong. Then following that in the 4-hole will be Ben King. Courtney Jones batting 5th. Jacob Santich 6th. Nicholas Riley batting 7th. Daniel Stevenson batting 8th, and then rounding out the lineup for the Giants will be Daniel Pork. Designated hitter for this evening is Ben King, so he will be batting in place of Jacob Meyer. We're set for action. Burt takes the mound. Cooper stepping into the box. Cooper, a left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, Burt. Burt sets, delivers. Fastball in the outside corner.
And I like this from Burt. He's got a good strong arm. Those fast balls could come in handy.
That ball put into play. It's going to be just out of the reach of a diving Butler. Not able to make the play, so Cooper will lead things off. Hit it through that 5.5 hole. Laid famous by Tony Gwynn. And the Giants looking to strike first with a runner on. That'll bring to the plate number 4, Drake Andron. Andron, another left-handed hitter. Looks like the Giants are going to be loaded up with lefties this year. Burt misses up and away for ball 1. Houston stepping out in front of the plate, looking to runner back, just making sure. Gosnells tried to get things going with early base movement, trying to steal a base, was promptly thrown out and ended inning 1-2-3. That ball's going to be put into action. It'll be just out of the range of Mackay, who had played a little bit closer to second for the double play, but that one's going to hit the lip of the grass and bound into the outfield, so first two reach safely for the Giants.
Well, what's the key for Wanneroo in comparison to Gosnells is that Wanneroo have got a few more power hitters at their disposal, especially at the top of the order. Those ground ball signals by Cooper and Andron is the start of what could be something big for the Giants here. That lineup of power hitters at the top of the order are very, very strong. I mean, case in point with their first 4 innings against Vic Park Belmont, case in point rather with that come from behind victory against Kareen last Sunday when they were 2-0 down. They were able to get those power hitters right back into the game.
Yeah, one of the big things there affecting the Giants, Byron Armstrong now batting. Byron, of course, Team USA, or sorry, not Team USA, has been to the USA for some of the youth teams and played on the Australian national team, under 23's team last year.
First one into foul territory there for this game.
Bird's pitch going to be down in the dirt for a ball. Byron thinking about a bunt, trying to see defensively what they were going to do. Scaramella stayed put at third, so first baseman's going to be crashing in hard. Looking to cut that runner at third if possible. One of the things that struck the Giants last year, they started off 0-5, but got guys on base a lot. Scaramella will crash on this one, and he will throw over to first, not in time. So the Giants will load the bases. Armstrong gets the bunt down perfectly, just about the right distance to drift far enough away from Houston. Scaramella had to run in hard, not able to get a lot on that throw over to first. Armstrong able to beat it out just in time.
And that's what I mentioned earlier, the power hitters at the top of the order for Wanneroo. While that was pretty smart, however, from Armstrong to get that sacrifice bunt in, although he was able to get to first at that time. I think that was what he was going for, sacrifice himself to first and get those runners into second and third.
Bases full of Giants, and that one will be hit high into the night sky. Ben King, but it's going to be caught by the right fielder, White. White will relay it in, so 1 run in. 1 runner will advance. Runners will now be on the corners. And the Giants have that early 1-0 lead.
And that's a good start for the Giants. Just exactly what they needed. Get that early lead, keep the scoreboard ticking, and that's what they've done thus far. They're controlling the game early. Gosnells, they've just got to not let those easy base hits go. That was the problem that they had against Victoria Park Belmont last Sunday.
It's one of the big things there going for the Giants last year. We said they would get runners on, but often left of them on base. So the big thing to me for the Giants that's key, especially in the early part of the season, is to get these guys on, get them in, and not make a game of it. Byron Armstrong taking off on the pitch, and he will be in safe under the tag there from Butler. So runners will then be second and third.
Courtney Jones stepping up to the plate. Facing Bird on the mound. Players on second and third. Ground ball towards second. But it'll be thrown out at first here. That was from Mackay. And that will bring the second out for Wanneroo. There is a runner that scores towards home plate. And the Giants now extend that advantage 2-0.
Good job there, hitting it to the right-hand side. The moment that ball goes to the right-hand side, runner breaking to the plate. Same thing, Armstrong able to advance, as Paul said. So now Giants have a runner 90 feet away from increasing their lead out to 3, and now batting is number 24, Courtney Jones. Sorry, Jacob Santich. Jones was just grounded out. Santich will line that one just over the jumping reach of Robbie Adamson. That ball's traveling down the right field line. Santich rounding first. He's going to slide in safely to second. Butler retrieves the throw that is wide. Just a little bit of the bag from White. Santich adds another run as Armstrong scores. So the Giants lead 3-0. That line drive hit there by Santich.
That was a very good line drive out towards right field. That one was well timed, simply sensational there. And all of a sudden he was able to get a triple hit towards third as Armstrong advances to home. Double rather, as Armstrong advances to home and increases this lead for the Giants. A good start was what they wanted. And the Giants, well, we're seeing once again why Wanneroo are top of the ladder.
Now batting for the Giants, number 27, Nicholas Riley. Riley moves in from center field this year as a lefty, then manning at first base. So Jake Bullingham changing a few things around for his lineup.
Getting those ones very, very low is Burt, looking to really deceive Riley, but it's not working at the moment for Burt.
Riley is a very patient hitter. Does search for what he wants, and he'll watch that one in tight off the plate, and he'll draw the base on balls there. So runners now will be first and second with 2 outs. One of the things we know in baseball, 2-out hits win ball games, and the Giants have been doing that thus far. Stepping to the plate will be third baseman number 5, Daniel Stevenson. Stevenson's manned the hot corner for the Giants for the last 4 or 5 years. I had him growing up through the junior system. His father played for Balcata back in the days. Daniel watches that first offering for a strike, and we'll watch the second one down in the dirt out of the zone for a ball. So 1-1 the count now. Burt working quickly, not giving much attention to the runners leading off, just a quick little peek, and gets the second one over the outside corner there for a strike 2. Changeup stays high, chin high out of the zone for a ball, so that'll even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2s across the top of the board. That one will be, I think, chopped foul off of Stevenson's foot. Burt
did ricochet off Stevenson's foot there, so the foul's called.
Burt was trying to walk over till he could hear the call loudly, but finally then made, so he'll walk back to the mound. We'll do the 2-2 pitch once again to Daniel Stevenson. That ball will miss well wide of the plate. Runners will be off on the movement from Burt, so we'll see if he makes an effort to throw. Gosnells not holding the runners on at all, trailing 3 already. Kicks, delivers, runners off. Stevenson will pop that one into left field, and it's going to be just in front of Hall. So Santich will come around and score. Nicholas Riley around to third, and the Texas League blooper drops safely in for Nicholas Riley. RBI single for him. And now batting will be the 9-hole hitter, Daniel Bork. So the Giants will bat around here in the first inning against Jack Burt. 4 runs in, 2 still on. Burt coming to the plate.
Well, Wanneroo have really started like a house of fire, haven't they? The Giants, they want to go deeper into the finals later in the season. They made it to the 5. They weren't able to get it done. They've just got that extra sense of determination in this Giants side to go all the way this season.
Big swing and a miss there from Daniel. He was looking to put it in through the PPC 50K home run sign. Still haven't had anyone do that, but Daniel was trying to give his best effort on that swing. That ball will be fouled back over home plate. Out of play.
And that one, in fact, is right out of there.
That one will be bounced down the line of Scaramillo. It'll take a hot hop off the dirt over Scaramillo's head and into left field. So that will plate another run for the Giants. Nicholas Riley scoring. Stevenson moves up to second. Daniel Burke has another RBI single here for the Giants. So 5-0 all the way through the lineup once. Turn it over here to the top of the lineup. Ethan Cooper will step back up to the plate.
And that's what really was my concern for Gosnells against the Vic Park Belmont side. They're letting in those easy base hits through multiple errors out on the field. And Scaramella, who fumbled that one, didn't get even close to it at third base, leaking out another base hit. You know, to be blunt, you can't keep doing that, especially against strong sides like Vic Park and in this case Wanneroo.
Yeah, Gosnells getting to go up against 2 playoff teams from the 2023 season, so a little bit of a measuring stick. See where they are. Of course, that is why they call it the hot corner there. That ball got on Scaramella quickly, but the clay infield here is a little bit harder than most areas, and normally you're taught to stay down, but here the bounce was unkind and went up and over. I'm not sure if it caught the lip of the grass right there on the cutout, but either way, the Giants have a 5-0 lead. 2 men on, 2 out. And Ethan Cooper for his second at bat this inning. Two balls, 2 strikes. The delivery, that ball will be hit into left center. High fly ball should be caught. Hall camps under it and makes the 3rd out. So that'll do it for the Giants in the first. They score 5. They leave 2 runners stranded after 1 complete. Wanneroo Giants 5, Gosnells Hawks 0. We'll be back after this quick break.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Welcome back to Baseball Park. We're here at Empire Ballpark. Friday Night Lights action, Harcher State League. Wanneroo Giants versus Gosnells Hawks, and the Giants have jumped out to a 5-0 lead here in the first inning. Got things all the way through their lineup. all 9 players. They batted around in that first inning. Got actually 10 to the plate and 5 runs in. Left 2 stranded, so doing the damage that they weren't able to do last year. So the difference will be is can they put teams away early and often, even save the arms pitching a little bit. We're here for the second inning. Jack Burt leads off against Jacob Meyer.
And the conditions are a lot more pleasant compared to last week when Perth took on Corrine. 22 degrees, but there is a little bit of a breeze blowing across the park here, so the players are going to be a little more comfortable this time in the conditions, in contrast to the heat that we had last Friday night.
Yeah, not used to the ballpark being this warm in October. Normally you're bundled up under a couple of sweatshirts to start the season. Big swing and a miss there by Jack Burt. Both pitchers working quickly here, not taking their time, but of course Meyer's been spotted to that 5-run lead and has the luxury of being able to do that. Meyer's pitch just catches that outside corner for strike 2. I believe 2-2 pitch coming up here to Burt. Misses up and away that fastball. So hard throwing left-hander here. Facing a young Gosnells lineup. Full count pitch will be high and away for ball 4. So Burt will flip his bat and trot on down to first base. Second base runner here for the Hawks. The first one they ran themselves out of the inning. Calvin Butler tried to make something happen, get a runner in scoring position, but quickly found out the arm of Courtney Jones with the Meyer to Jones combination. Pretty good pop time. Now batting will be first baseman number 2, Robin Adamson. Adamson, a longtime Gosnells Hawks member. Meyer will check the runner over at first. I'm sure to try to keep his counterpart honest there at the bag. Meyer doing a good job of pitching in and out, up and down, moving the different locations as he attacks these Gosnells hitters. We've seen him go in tight, about waist high. That one he went up and away, but missed on both, so 2-0 the count. Breaking ball in the inside part for strike 1. Adamson didn't like it too much, and see him just conversing there with the umpire, asking, really? Two on pitch will be popped up foul over the Giants dugout. Fans not moving much, even though it only bounced a few seats away. At least doing enough to go retrieve it as it rolled inauspiciously to the right there. A big swing and a miss, and that'll sit Adamson down for the first out of the inning. Meyer with his first strikeout of the game.
And you look at this pitches to strikes ratio for Meyer, 21-10 now. 21-10 in the strikeouts. He's got 10 of those strikes for this game thus far. He's looking good, is Meyer. That left arm fastball across the corner there, working wonders so far. Looks like Jamie White's next up, another left-hander.
Don't see this one too often, the lefty versus lefty matchup. So White will have his work cut out for him here, facing the hard-throwing Meyer. Just see Jones giving the signs there. Aaron Armstrong just kicking the dirt, smoothing things out for the bounces he wants to see in front of him. Big swing and a miss there from White. Key here, as hard throwing as Meyer is, just go through that normal motion. You don't have to do anything extra. The ball's going to jump off that bat if you can get a hold of it. So White does get a little piece of that one, fouls it straight back into the netting behind home plate. So just about got his timing right, just under that one slightly. We'll see if he can straighten it out, keep it in the field to play. Got his work cut out for him, 1-2 count. And if you're just joining us, Giants lead by a score of 5-0 here. One out, bottom of the first, runner on. That ball's going to be hit hard into right center field. Daniel Burke is on the run and is able to make that catch, and he'll throw it back on to the infield to Santich. And Jack Burt will scamper back to first base. Burke able to get the second out on a routine fly there to right field.
That was a good fly catch there from Burke running in from fly field. White, he got that one absolutely spot on there. He timed it brilliantly, but just got a little too much air on that one, and Burke was able to take a good catch running in from right field, and we could be seeing another 3 and out this time for the Giants in their favour as they hold to this 5-0 lead.
Well, unless they manage to throw Burt out, they won't go 3 up, 3 down. But batting for the Gosnells Hawks is number 36, Riley Hall. Hall will foul that one off the mesh of the first base dugout. Meyer will throw over, keeping Burt honest. Good thing there, runner not getting too far off the base against that left-handed pitcher. Not wanting to see the hard pickoff throw just yet. But Gosnells needing to do something to keep this game within contention, within striking distance. They've had a runner on each inning, but they ran themselves out the first inning. Haven't been able to get him past first base, the 2 hitters, since drawing that leadoff walk. Nice swing on that one. Be fouled over the first base side there into the parking lot.
It'll be a nice souvenir for the fans should they find it.
Well, unfortunately, in the State League action, you got to throw the balls back. That's the one thing they do ask, is the baseballs go back. But if you're at a Perth Heat game, that is yours to keep. Big swing and a miss, and that'll do it for not only Riley Hall, but that'll do it for the Gosnells Hawks here in the top of the second. So 1.5 complete. Hawks haven't been through their lineup yet. Giants got all the way through their lineup in that bottom half and lead by a score of 5-0. We'll be back for the bottom of the second after this quick break.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Fielder's Choice, your home for baseball equipment here in Perth, Western Australia. Make sure and visit Jeff Berry, Kevin Hooker over at Fielder's Choice Baseball Store, 346 Orong Road there in Cudale. www.fielders.net to shop online, or 936161117. They have a wide selection of gloves, bats, of course all of your equipment needs, bags, baseballs, anything the club needs, bases, pants, everything else. Make sure and visit those guys down at Fielders. Have you managed to get down there yourself, Paul?
I haven't had the chance to, but I've heard that they've got some great merchandise, and for all levels of baseball, whether it be junior, amateur, state league, or even professional, national or international. So some great stuff there over at Fielder's Choice in Kewdale.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure, get on down, get online, go through those guys. Barry would love to hear you ask for a Barry bargain whenever you see him. We're back for Friday Night Lights action. Bottom of the second inning, Gosnells Hawks against the Wanneroo Giants. Giants have jumped out to a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Batted all the way around. We'll start off with the 2-hole. I believe that is Drake Angeron. It looks like a couple of Wanneroo guys are going with new socks this year. I haven't quite seen this one. From upstairs, it looks to just be a peach sock all the way down, but looking at the camera, looks to be honestly on the camera, it looks to be a yellow-white striped one. I believe that is an orange. It's just not the Wanneroo orange. So
yeah, you could be right there, Gary. It looks like a bit of a lighter orange tinge on that sock there, the orange and white stripe there. It looks pretty flashy.
Might be a little too flash for my needs. Of course, Wanneroo Giants fitting in well with the Halloween theme, the black and orange. So this is the month to be a Giants baseball club member. Drake will draw that leadoff walk to start the inning. So the second inning, we've seen both teams get their leadoff runner on. Gosnells not able to move him past first base. We'll see if the Giants are able to keep the carousel running. Scored first. Scored often. Lead by right now 5-0. Now stepping to the plate will be shortstop number 1, Byron Armstrong.
For most of these Giants on their first run through at batter 1-for-1 as we see a nice fly hit to center field.
That ball's going to get down. A diving stop there by Tanny. Thought he had it, but as soon as he hit the ground, face hit hard off the grass. Ball bounced out of his gloves, so Armstrong will reach on a hit. Not sure how we're going to score that one, whether that'll be an error or a base hit. Tanny taking his time to settle himself. It was a good diving catch, but he hit the face hard.
I don't think we'll count that as an error because that was a hell of an effort there from Tanny to get to that one. But I tell you what, that hit to the face on the turf saw him a little bit not loopy, as they say, for a second or two. But glad that he's all right and he's back on his feet and ready to take the next pitch at center field.
Suppose that's why we don't make you one of the scorers, Paul, because you're nice in saying, "Oh, that was a great looking play." Any other baseball purist would say, "You touch it, you catch it." So,
I'll take your word on that.
we'll see what the scorers officially say for that one. I think they will give Armstrong a single there. So they decide to rule in favor of you this time. In the meantime, runners first and second, and that'll bring up Ben King. Ben King flew out to right center field in his first at bat, getting the sacrifice fly, scoring a run, and we're going to see a pickoff throw as Jack Burt turns back to throw to Callum Butler, but Drake will slide back in safely. That ball will be blooped over to Butler at short, and he will quickly fire it over to Mackay standing on second and double off Drake, who had drifted just a bit too far away from the bag on that one. So just like that, Giants started out runners first and second with nobody out, and they're down to a runner on one with 2 outs.
That was the double play that Gosnells needed because they let a few base hits leak during the early part of the first innings, but that double play was what they needed just to restrict those runners on base, and they've done it very well this time.
Absolutely. Gosnells needing to keep the game within striking distance and then find a way to chip away at that 5-0 lead, so double play a timely thing for them as it stands, and Courtney Jones now batting, trying to extend the Giants' inning. Burt kicks, delivers. down in the dirt for a ball. 2-0 the count now. One runner on, 2 out.
Giants is walking. And he's mostly got a lot of his pitches there, did Bert. He's so far got 44 to the right corner of the plate. So he's proving to have a bit of a tough affair there, is Bert, on the mound tonight. And he's let a few go for those walks towards first.
And definitely working the outer parts of the plate, both in and off. Trying to make the Giants swing the bat. Of course, in the first inning they have been. They have been a little bit patient here in the second inning. Working the count, watching some pitches here. Case in point, Jacob Santich watching that first offering for a ball. He'll watch that second one in tight as well. Bert trying to keep those runners reaching out over the plate. One thing the Giants have done well is they've hit it where it's been pitched, so as he's come inside, they have come around, but they've done a good job of working things over first base, over into that right field area. Predominantly been hitting it where it has been pitched. That one will be up and away, up and in for ball 3. Trio pitch in on the plate. Could have been probably borderline, but generally umpire gives you that benefit of the doubt. As long as it's close, you get that give me strike. So see if Bert can build off of it and come back and battle against Santich. Santich will swing, pop that one up on the infield. Mackay camps under it, 2 steps onto the grass. That'll do it for the Giants here in the second. They leave 2 runners stranded. No runs. After 2 complete, the Giants do have the 5-0 lead. We'll be back after this quick break.
Good Sports provides a great deal of assistance to all associations.
We're extremely lucky that we've got an organisation like Good Sports that provide us with the education to implement the right policies.
The guidelines and resources that are available to us free of charge on the website are fantastic. Easy to navigate, amazing to use, an excellent source of information for our members and our volunteers.
Good Sports has been great because they've been able to provide us a guideline to follow, and it's been a lot easier rather than setting something up from scratch. We've also been able to promote our club and get new members in and sponsors, and to know that we're doing the best we can for the community.
The legal requirements to operate a sporting association are many and varied. Good Sports provides simple, straightforward procedures to ensure that we comply with those obligations.
And you're back with us on Friday Night Lights here at Empire Ballpark. We're at the top of the third. The Giants still have that 5-0 lead. They had 2 runners stranded at the last, and they weren't able to score. Gosnells having a much better time there at the bottom of the second. They inflicted that double play, which was key in restricting the Giants to get those base hits that they have been well known for. They get plenty whenever they hit the lead. But they were restricted at the bottom of the second. They did not score, in contrast to the 5 that they had in the first innings. They're now stepping up to the plate for the Gosnells Hawks. It'll be an important time for the Hawks in this match. Paul Persick alongside Guy Belair. Friday Night Lights, Empire Ballpark, 21 degrees. A breeze blowing across the park here as Meyer is back on the mound. Gets that one a little low towards the right corner. And that'll be 1-0 the count in that first ball. That one's flied high towards left field. Player underneath it. That's a brilliant catch. Cooper. Cooper running back with the ball out from left field. He takes a brilliant catch and immediately gets the first out for the Wanneroo Giants. And now next up at the bat will be Jared Mackay. Maya gets that one right down the middle of the plate. And a cold strike there for Mackay. Right down the middle, a swing and a miss for Mackay. Maya getting that fastball to good use. 0-2 the count. Maya, that fastball is working wonders tonight. Got that one a little low there. 1-2 the count.
Looks like Meyer tried to go to a little bit of a slider there. See if he could get Mackay chasing. Working a little bit of his repertoire. Still hasn't been through the Hawks lineup yet. Facing the bottom, the 9-hole hitter as we speak right now. So what's been your impression here of Meyer early, Paul?
Well, I have to say, Meyer, he's been on a roll so far tonight. He's got a couple of strikeouts. He's got that fastball working. But he's not afraid to deviate a little bit. You know, he's got a curveball in there somewhere. But he hasn't used that. He's waiting for those right times to get that curveball. But what he has done is just going through the motions. He's not over-pitching it. He's going through the motions. And he's doing very, very well on the mound tonight. And considering this is only his fourth game on the mound this season. But that one just a little too high. The last couple there were a little too high, and that allows Mackay a walk on first.
It'll be his second walk issue this game, so he does have the pair of strikeouts now to go with 2 walks. Walk Burt to lead off the top of the second. And after getting a quick out, managed to walk Mackay here, walked into the bottom of the lineup. Turn things back over, so Rodney Tinney will step to the plate. Tinney, we did see that great diving attempt, but just couldn't hang on to the ball after hitting the ground hard. We'll see if he's truly made his recovery as he faces Meyer here, or he'll watch that fastball up high for ball 1. Tinney will put that one, a slow roller across the infield, but it quickly gets down that line, able to beat out the throw from Daniel Stevenson. Meyer rounds over the bag, heads towards third just in the event Mackay thought about running down the line to first.
And that was such an important piece of play there for Gosnells. They need to get those base hits. They've got to start chipping away. They're doing that at the moment. Mackay on second, Tinney on first, and now it's Scaramella, usually batting in the 5 spot, who's now up onto the plate. If they get bases loaded here, it's a huge chance for Gosnells to chip away at this 5-0 lead that Wanneroo have established early on. Meyer on the mound, he's feeling the pressure, and he looked to first base there for a moment. He was looking to get that pick off on first, and he's just keeping Tinney honest there at first. Time to throw that one towards the plate. Meyer again glancing at first. Now he's glancing at Mackay at second. And that one just a little higher, lining with the shoulder there. So that'll be a 2-0 count for Scaramella. He's 18th at bat this season, an average of just around .250 this season. And again, getting one high there. He has been struck out 3 times. He has been able to get 4 runs on the board this season for the Gosnells side. 3-0 the count. One more. And he'll walk on first, and we'll see bases loaded. And there he goes. That's ball 4. And Scaramella's walking. And that means we'll get bases loaded for Gosnells for the first time for the Hawks.
We'll take a quick break as Jay Bullingham will come out to check on Meyer as he's loaded the bases here. And we'll be back after the quick meeting on the mines.
It looks like the meeting of minds is concluded here, so Meyer looks like he is going to stay on the mound, so we won't see a change of pitcher at the moment. Meyer's still going to be there. Just having a look at his pitches to strikes ratio, 45 to 21 at the present time, so less than half of his pitches have ended up in those strikes. Next up is Butler.
60 pitches through, not quite through 3 innings worth of work, is a little bit stressful on the arm here. Of course, with a 5-0 lead, you'd like to see his pitch count down about 15 an inning, so he should be getting out of this inning, but obviously up at about 60%. That ball's going to be chopped over towards Santich. Santich will get to Armstrong, and they will get the 4-6-3 double play to get out of the inning. No runs scored. Gosnells will lead them loaded. Big double play there from Santich to Armstrong to Riley to end the inning. After 2.5, Giants still up 5-0. We'll be back after this quick break.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love. Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
With a history of going the extra mile, Harcher has been a trusted wholesale distributor since 1986. Regional service and supply is what we do best, and you'll find everyone's favourite drinks, snacks, confectionery, and so much more, all here ready to deliver. Just tell us how we can help today.
Delivered together is our motto here at Harcher, because from our friendly customer service reps to our super reliable delivery drivers, we believe teamwork really does make the dream work. So if your dream is a wholesale supplier who'll always put you first, you've made the right call. See what we're all about at harcher.com.au.
Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. Friday Night Lights, the Wanneroo Giants have jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Gosnells Hawks had an opportunity with bases loaded, but unfortunately grounded into the 4-6-3 double play. Santich to Armstrong to Riley to get out of the inning unscathed. Riley will trot back into the dugout, bring out the wooden bat, and lead off the bottom of the third here for the Giants. Jack Burt still on the mound into his third inning of work. First pitch will be high and tight for ball 1.
Right up the middle there. That was much better from Burt there. And in contrast, we were speaking about Meyer's pitch to strike ratio here. We're seeing Burt 51 for 23 at this point in time.
Both pitchers high pitch counts here early into the ball game, having to work hard. Burt obviously got tattooed a little bit in that first inning. Found a little bit of rhythm here in the second and third. Nicholas Riley will pop that one out to Tinney, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So we saw the second inning, both teams had their leadoff hitters reach base with base on balls. And so far here in the bottom of the third, both leadoff hitters have been retired. Daniel Stevenson will step to the plate. We'll watch that Burt offering miss well up and in for a ball. Giants just about to work through the lineup through the second time. Gosnells Hawks have just turned it over starting their second effort. That ball will be a little low, ball 2.
Very patient here is Stevenson. And was able just to get the knee down there, knowing that that one was going low towards the corner of the plate. But that one was a little bit closer there from Burt. And the strike while looking at that one.
Burt doing a good job mixing his pitches. Fastball over the plate there for that strike. He'll throw to the curveball. It'll be swung on and missed into the back of the glove. I think if he's able to dial up another one of those, but I would go down into the dirt, see if he can get Stevenson to chase. Manages to stay high. Did go with the curveball. It'll be sky high. Adamson camps under it for the second out. Just like that, 2 up, 2 down for the Giants.
Again, this is much better play from Gosnells, especially out in the field. They were able to get 2 down from 2. They've got those hitters out very, very quickly. If they are able to get this third and enforce that 3 and out, then it's now up to the batters to chip away at the scoreboard like they almost did in their last innings before that double play at the 4-6-3 caught them out.
Yeah, that'll be the key, is Gosnells needs to have that quick inning, get back into the dugout. They have to find a way to come through and strike for runs against Jacob Meyer. Can't get it all in one swing of the bat, but they need to get some help offensively, get a little bit of rest, but the good defensive turnaround here so far. Trying to swing a little bit of mojo back in their favor. Burt seems to have dialed in that off-speed pitch. Curveball, he's able to locate it in and out. Doing a good job of up and down to the hitters.
Throwing that one a little wide there, but now 2-2 the count. All bases are vacated. And that's to Gosnells' credit. Their effort in the field has been much better over the last couple of innings compared to the early part of this game. They conceded 5 at the bottom of the first, but they haven't conceded any since.
Burt got close to offering for that one. They will ask to appeal down to first. He said he was managed to hold his bat back. So it doesn't matter how far you step or start your swing into it, as long as you're able to keep that bat not going past a 90-degree angle, then
and the full count we got now as that one is fouled to the net past home plate.
Burt working at his hardest to try to get that one. The curveball is swung on and missed, so that will be strike 3. Houston able to hang on to that one. No throw needed down to the dirt. Burt tried to hold up, thinking he'd draw ball 4, but in fact Burt got his strike 3 call. So gets the 3 up, 3 down inning that he needs after 3 complete. Gosnells 0, Giants 5. We'll be back after this quick break. Diamond Fitness. Make sure and visit Dean White, Lee Godfrey, Johnny Ogilvy, and all the folks over there at Diamond Fitness. Looking for all of your training needs, whether you're an elite athlete or looking to get better. Several locations, one here at the ballpark, one in Osborne Park, one over by Christ Church. Find the one that suits you. Make sure and reach out and talk to your local Diamond Fitness members. Strength to succeed.
Thanks to Diamond and, as a matter of fact, to all our partners supporting the Baseball WA Harcher State League. And from what I understand here, Guy, we got a pitching change. It looks like it's going to be Callum Shipp that is stepping onto the mound for the first time.
Yeah, Callum Shipp, another local that's come up through the Giants organization. So, boy, starting to turn the roster over and get their own opportunities. Of course, the Giants not short on pitching. Another reason why they will continue to be a favorite. So even as some of the Perth Heat players go and take their names, Shipp with an opportunity to potentially even be one of those juniors on the roster. We'll see a few different things go around. So it started off well here.
And that's why the depth in not just pitching but also in the batting for the Giants side has been so good over the last few years, and why they've been contenders in the finals and the start of the season here. You know, you have Meyer and now Shipp looking to pick up where Meyer left off.
That ball will be hit over to Byron Armstrong, who swallows up everything quickly. It throws Burt out, so leadoff batter retired here in the fourth. Stepping to the plate for the Gosnells Hawks will be first baseman Robin Adamson. As I talked about, Giants not short on any pitching depth at all. Obviously, Jacob Meyer, the import, throwing tonight, but Tom Bailey, a mainstay, also been a Heat mainstay for a while, but Fraser Bryce, Callum Shipp.
Who wanted that at centre field? And that's the first real mistake for the Giants.
I think Bork called for it and wanted it, and I think he's come up a little bit lame here. I think he pulled his hamstring. I think he's going to walk himself out of the game right now. So he'd called for it, and then about 2 steps from the ball, I saw him pull up, and I think that was
number 12.
Andron not able to make a play with Bork in close proximity as well.
Yeah,
so Bork is going to pull himself out of the game with that right hamstring strain. Looks like Nicholas Riley will be going back to the outfield, and whoever comes in for Bork will be probably going to first base based on that.
We're just picking up now who has left the dugout. It looks as though it's number 25 for the Giants, which is Jackson Riley.
So it will be Nicholas's brother, but I believe Jackson is a right-hander off of memory. And actually, I think there's going to be a few changes. So I think Jackson Riley's going to go to second base. Jacob Santich will go over to first.
Yes.
And then Riley will pop out to right field. So
well, that's something they certainly didn't have in the game plan with Burke suffering that hamstring injury. That is a blow for the Giants. We do hope Burke recovers quickly. He'll get some treatment over there at the Giants dugout. But that is a real big blow for Wanneroo, with Burke going off the ground with a hamstring injury. Santich at first, Jackson Riley now at second, and Nicholas Riley now going up to right field. So a few changes made by the Giants as a result of Burke's hamstring injury. So White's going to be facing Shipp. And Shipp looking to pick off Adamson at first, but Adamson's safe. Shipp again having a bit of a glance at Adamson at first, looking for a second pick-off attempt. But he's going to go for it, and it's right down the middle. Looked at that one, did White, and he takes the strike. 0-1 the count.
White watches that offering cross low and away there. Jones setting up on that outside corner will dig that one off the dirt. Missed just wide for a ball. 1-1 the count now. Gosnells has had a base runner in every inning so far, but haven't been able to do anything with those base runners. Trying to finally get things going, but unfortunately, ball. Ship was able to make a great play, athletic play, jumping off the mound to field the ball, but his throw is errant of Byron Armstrong. Byron not able to pick it out of the dirt. That ball will end up in center field. White will reach on the error there from Ship. Ship almost would have been better off to let that one go and have Byron just field it himself on the bag and throw over, but sometimes those instincts just kick in naturally. Did a great job to try to make the play. The throw just went into the dirt for him. And now batting for the Hawks will be Riley Hall.
Hall 0 for 1 in this one so far in this game.
I had a hard hit ball. Just happened to be right at the outfielder.
Oh, and 2 the count now. Things are getting pretty interesting at the moment, has to be said. Gosnells, they got some base hits, but is spot on there. They haven't been able to do anything beyond that. They've been caught out. The 4-6-3, as you said, with that double play earlier. They've got to find something beyond those. Hall can hold the key here if he can get a good ground ball past second base. You've really got to go straight up the guts, as they say here in Australia. You've got to go right up the guts with a ground ball if you get the right one.
Two and two the count. Ship started off 0-2. These have worked back into Hall's favor. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Ship gets the strikeout here. That'll be the second out for the Hawks. Now stepping to the plate will be number 15, Luke Houston. Houston will discard the leg guards and take the slow walk up to the plate to face Callum Ship. These two have had a few battles over the years coming up through the charter system when the Houston was a part of the Central Firebirds versus the Northern Metros from Ship, and then been teammates on a couple of underage state teams. Now back to being foes once again. Houston watches that first offering over for a ball. Adamson taking the lead, as you can see on the screen there, from second. Nobody holding him on. Riley creeping towards the bag, but not real close. Ship will miss high for ball 2. Adamson on first. Adamson on second. White on first. Houston at the plate. Gosnells looking to try to cut into the Giants' lead. Paul, this is one of the things that I was able to see last year is that, you know, the Giants didn't take an opportunity of plating the runs, so they plated the runs early, but then haven't been able to do anything since themselves. So Gosnells is able to, you know, just on the verge of keeping the momentum with them because they're holding the Giants at bay, but they really need to get the runs here. Luke Houston will draw the 4-pitch walk, and that's probably, you know, they may have, for lack of better terms, been pitching around Houston there. He is a good fastball hitter. He's a good hitter in general from that one. So to be in the 8-hole spot there with runners in scoring position, they may have said, we'll take our best efforts and maybe go at Jared Mackay a little bit harder in the 9-hole. But we're actually going to see a pitching change already. So Bullingham not wanting to let the Hawks get much momentum. Looks like we got a right-hander coming in. That's going to be
could be very interesting to see who they go with for this third pitcher in the game, and it looks like it could be a right-hander. We'll find out momentarily.
8 is going to be Fraser Bryce. So Fraser Bryce, a hard-throwing right-hander, does spend a little bit of time there on the fringe of the Perth Heat system, but has been a long-time Giant thrower. Been a part of I think he's been a part of one of the Giants' premieres 2-3 years ago, but now he's been kind of one of their mainstays out of the bullpen, kind of a fringe starter depending on what they need. But Callum Shipp not lasting long, loading the bases, even though he did have the 2 outs. Kind of a little bit surprised Bullingham didn't let Shipp work his way through the last hitter in the lineup before turning it over.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprising move from the Giants manager, I have to say. You know, to go with a third pitcher not long after Shipp was brought into the mound. But like you said, Bryce, hard-throwing right-hander, and like Bryce and Meyer, got good fastball at their disposal. So if they can put that to good use, Bryce be able to pitch a little more directly at Mackay rather than around the likes of Houston and White. So that may be a very well-calculated move from the Giants' part. But you said earlier, Gosnells, they've been chipping away bit by bit in the last couple of innings. And Wanneroo getting the rice, slicing their runs early, that's in complete contrast to what they did against Kareen last Sunday. They got it midway through the match. They were held well for 3 innings, while Kareen at the third were able to get 2 runs themselves and take that 2-0 lead. But then Wanneroo, from the middle right up to that extra inning, they slowly chipped away. They got the 2 runs at the 8th, and they were able to get the win late. So it's complete contrast to what Wanneroo are doing tonight as far as getting the runs on the board compared to what they had last Sunday.
Well, we're all set for action. Bryce warmed up. Mackay steps to the plate. He'll watch the first offering from Bryce over for strike 1.
And another part of this equation, Gosnells are still down to their last out, so they were on 2 outs. Oh, and 2 from 2. Big one here for Fraser Bryce, who's only just been brought in. Going to get a 3 and out and force the change and stop the Hawks at their tracks. No, it's a fly out towards left field. He's got him. Cooper making the catch. And once again, that leaves the Hawks stranded, this time with 3.
Second time this evening, the Hawks leave the bases loaded. That'll do it for them in the 4th. After 3.5, Hawks still trail 5-0. We'll be back after this quick break.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. We're moving along quickly here into the bottom of the 4th inning. Wanneroo Giants lead the Gosnells Hawks by a score of 5-0. My name is Guy Belair, along with Paul Persig. Gosnells has had opportunities. They've twice left the bases loaded, but they just have not been able to strike for that 1 run. They're staying within striking distance, but time is running out and opportunities are going by the wayside, as they are failing to capitalize with some of these opportunities.
Gosnells haven't played a bad game. You know, it was just only that, bottom of the 1st inning where they let that momentum slip away in the early stages. But to their credit, they have done well to really keep in striking distance of the Giants here. That 5-0 lead, while it may seem emphatic, it really isn't with the way Gosnells have been playing after the 1st inning.
We'll turn things back over to the top of the lineup for the Giants. Ethan Cooper up for his 3rd at-bat here in the bottom of the fourth. Obviously, the Giants jumped out to that 5-0 lead. They did bat around in the first inning, but they haven't done anything since. Getting a quick 3-up, 3-down last inning, leaving a couple runners stranded in the second. Cooper will watch that fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
There he goes. He's walking. So Cooper's going to walk onto first. Going to draw first on the balls there. And now to be Angeron. Making up his next at-bat here at the bottom of the fourth. Another left-hander.
Burt on for his fourth inning of action, working through the Giants lineup for the third time now. So this will be a critical one for him as a few of these guys got to him early and often. Was able to keep him at bay through that second time through the order. Now the leadoff runner aboard. We'll see how patient the Giants hitters are. That ball will be fouled into the netting.
Very different conditions out on ground level in contrast to what we had last week, where it was very warm. The ground looked pretty dry. And as you can see there on some of the corners here, it looks pretty soft out there towards first plate at first base, and also on the edge of second as well. That one's right down the middle, but it is still a ball, just a little wide of the corner of the plate there. 3-1 the count.
Burke missing up and away. Runner taking off. That ball will be hit and run, fouled away over the third base dugout. If you're just joining us, welcome to all of those from the Perth metro area. A few watchers here from New South Wales, and see followers from Perth, Morley, Wilton, and South Perth jumping online.
Gotta love the interstate support as well, you know, as you said, from New South Wales as well. Shout out to the folk over there in New South Wales watching the broadcast tonight. Full count and another foul right over the canteen.
Drake making young Jack Burt work hard. I think Burt's got to be nearing the 100-pitch marker.
Now on 77 for this game.
Runner goes, and he's going to miss outside for ball 4. So it'll be two Giants on. Runners first and second. Stepping to the plate will be All-Australian Byron Armstrong. Peter Torpey's going to take a few moments to go speak to his pitcher, and we'll see if they make a pitching change. A little bit of work. Haven't seen him make the call yet.
So we're seeing just on the mound there, looks like
he is going to make the pitching change.
Will be a change. Number 23 for the Hawks, it looks like. Or it could be number 1. No?
I think Burt is going to have to stay in the game because he is listed as the pitcher DH. So,
yes.
Burt will stay in as the designated hitter. Looks like, is that Scaramilla on the mound?
Yes, it is. Number 1, Scaramilla.
So, Scaramilla will go to the mound, and Burt will swap spots and go to third base. So we'll step away. We'll take a quick break as Luis Scaramillo warms up. We'll be back for more action on the fourth after this quick break.
Luis Scaramillo, this will only be his second game on the mound. He only did pitch once, and that was at the start of October against Swan Districts. 71 pitches for only one strikeout. Now, this will be his second appearance on the mound this season. 22 batters faced him, 71 pitches he threw in total, and only the one strikeout. Scaramella will be on the mound for the first time. The two number ones in a fascinating battle. Scaramella versus Armstrong, who plays on first and second.
First pitch will be hit sky high on the infield. Burt will let it drop. Infield fly was called there, so runners can only advance at their own risk. So Byron Armstrong is out on the infield fly. Now stepping to the plate will be number 55, designated hitter Ben King. King in his first at bat hit it hard to right center, but had it caught for the sacrifice fly. Completed the first run of the game for the Giants. He will go after this offering quickly as well. Again on the infield, also an infield fly. Robbie Adamson will make that catch as well, ensuring runners stay put. So Wanneroo had an opportunity. Runners first and second, nobody out, but the pitching change. It's like a masterstroke by Peter Torpy so far. Now stepping to the plate for the Giants will be number 11 catcher Courtney Jones. Jones will watch that first offering chest high outside part of the plate for a strike.
Almost looking to pick off second there. Cooper being the man at second. He's keeping Cooper honest there.
Scaramella grew up in the Williton Baseball Club. Left for a couple of years in the WA State softball player. And came back to the game, I think, a year or 2 years ago, maybe. He's managed to find his way, be a mainstay for the Hawks at the state league level. Was the shortstop the last 2 seasons, but with them getting Colin Butler out here this year, he makes the move over to third. Does pitch occasionally.
Scaramella got that one pretty low into the dirt there, so an even count, 2-2 with 2 outs. Gosnells would love to get this last out, even though they haven't hit the board themselves with the bat. It can present themselves with another great opportunity.
That off-speed pitch is going to miss high. Didn't break into the zone in time, so we'll have a full count. So runners will be off on the pitch. As you said, Gosnells trying to get out of this inning. No damage allowed. They haven't allowed the Giants to score since that first inning. They need to keep it within striking distances. They haven't been able to take part, but Scaramella is going to miss high for ball 4, and that will load them. Stepping to the plate will be number 24, Jacob Santich. Santich started the game at second base, has moved over to first on the injury to Daniel Bork. Of course, we did see, had a great running catch into right center field earlier in the ball game, and then on another one that was in shallow right center, pulled up about 2 steps short of the ball, had a strained hamstring, so Santich has moved over to first, but he had a big hit in that first inning that plated 2 runs. Had a line drive rocket shot just over a jumping Robbie Adamson down that right field line. See if he can do much the same here in his third at bat.
Well, from a Gosnells point of view, it's the most important third out that they'd want to get. Bases loaded, they want to limit the damage.
That ball's going to be fouled off the foot. I don't know if it went off the foot or the leg guard there from Houston, but either way, Santich down to 0-2. So 0-2 pitch. Has a lot to work with, but doesn't want to put anything past Houston with those runners full of Giants on the base pass. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball fouled off into the stands over the first base dugout. We'll get set to do it again. Great look there from our center field camera. Scaramella looking around. You can see Drake Engren leading off, chatting a little bit with Callum Butler off to his right. Houston now giving the signs there. Santich sets. Houston shifts to the inside part. That one will miss up and in, almost hitting Santich in the head and almost clipping his bat. Lucky to get that one just out of the way.
He did that. He did very well there, Santich, to just duck out of the way there when that one was going right for his head. Read it brilliantly.
Scaramella maybe going with a little bit of chin music to brush him off the plate. Houston now setting up on the outside. And Santich gamely offers it that one and gets just a piece of it, fouling it back into the Harcher sign behind home plate. If you're just joining us, bottom of the 4th inning, the Giants have jumped out to a 5-0 lead here in round 3 of the Harcher State League season. Gosnells trying to keep the Giants within striking distance, looking for this third and final out, hoping the Giants can leave them loaded. Santich will hit that one.
It's gone through.
And that will get past a diving Hall. That one will roll all the way to the fence, and I think that's going to be a base-clearing triple for Jacob Santich. So he comes up with his second big hit of the game. The Giants push that lead out to 8-0.
Well, that was a brilliant hit there from Santich out towards left centre field. It was a good effort there from Hall out at left field. Made the dive to try and make that, but just got the unkind bounce in front of him. And then it was a base-clearing triple for Santich, who went on his merry way. Cooper, Angren and Jones all scored 8-0. That's not what Gosnells were after, but that's what Wanneroo were after, to enforce more damage on the scoreboard. And through that base-clearing triple, they've done just that.
Yeah, that was one of the questions that I said coming into the game there. Wanneroo has the ability to get runners on, but they haven't done much sometimes with them, and having late ball games, chasing leads down late. But definitely tonight they're looking to put their foot down and put a team away. So far doing their job. If you don't allow a team to score, they can't win. But now tonight able to add the runs on the board as well. So Nicholas Riley here facing Luis Scaramella with Jacob Santich 90 feet away.
As a matter of fact, that was actually Santich's second triple of the season so far. In the 5 games that he has played, 17 at bat, he only had 1 prior. And he then got his second base clearing triple of the season, and a job very well done for Santich.
I'd like to welcome those viewers from the East Coast. Looks like somebody's on from Gold Coast as well. So glad you're joining us for some late night baseball.
Got to applaud their dedication, staying up late over there in the eastern states to watch some of the best in state league action. And it looks like Riley's walking on that one on ball 4.
Nicholas Riley does indeed draw the base on balls there. So runners will be first and third. We'll see Luke Houston giving his signs there for what they're going to do for attacking the base runner. Daniel Stevenson will step up to the plate for the Giants. Nicholas Riley not off on the first pitch. That ball will miss high and tight for ball 1. Riley extending his lead just slightly. Still not going just yet. Stevenson with his wide stance will watch breaking ball break out of the zone for ball 2. Stevenson being a very patient hitter and looking for his pitch, and can afford to do that up to 8-0. Probably one of my favorite Giant baseball players. Stevenson will watch that one over the plate for ball 4 and draw the 4-pitch walk to reload the bases for the Giants. Now we'll see Nicholas Riley's brother Jackson Riley in for his first at bat. So Jackson Riley's come into the game in place of Daniel Bork, who has left the game injured. He did pull that right hamstring and immediately kind of took himself out of the game as a result. So we'll see number 25, Jackson Riley, with his first plate appearance tonight. He'll watch the first offering in the outside corner for strike 1. Curveball across for strike 2. Jackson not necessarily a fan of that one. You can see him shaking his head. Not much you can do about that one, but
he's got him.
Strike zone will be opening up a little bit. Jackson not happy. He's got a few words to say, and he's going to be run. So he'll have a quick evening. Just got into the game and just got out of the game as he was just tossed.
He was tossed. He's not happy.
He at least stayed to get a few extra words in. Was not happy with that curveball on the outside corner being called a strike. You can understand that one, but in a game that's starting to get away, probably maybe see the strike zone open up a little bit. He wasn't happy about it. He at least got his few words in, and he will take a seat for the remainder of the evening. That'll do it for Jackson Riley. So we know we have at least one change coming up. Giants will retake the lead. We'll take a quick break, but after 4 complete, the Giants score 3 runs and lead by a score of 8-0 over the Hawks.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love. Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. you're just joining us, the Wanneroo Giants have jumped out to an 8-0 lead. They scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning, batting it through the lineup. They just tacked on 3 more, still left the bases loaded as Jackson Riley came into the ball game in the top half of the inning, got an at-bat, and promptly takes a seat as he has been tossed. Replaced now by Dawson George at second base. So George will now enter the game and into that 9-hole spot. Daniel Burke has left the game injured.
Ateni looks like he got hit there and could take an instant walk, but it turns out not to be the case.
See if we can get a replay of that one shown. See, he thought he was hit, and the umpire had different plans, but in the meantime, he'll step back into the box and he'll watch Frazier pitch wide for a ball.
3-0 the count now it is, Gee, so one more and Tenny will draw a base on balls. He does. So that's ball 4, and he strolls along to first. And again, it's going to be a matter for the Hawks of going beyond just those base hits. They've had a couple of times where they were able to load the bases, but they couldn't do anything beyond. They weren't able to get the scoreboard ticking over. The last thing they would have wanted is to concede 3 further runs when they conceded 5 at the start.
Tinney will reach base for his first time this evening. Scaramella batting. He'll watch the first offering over the middle of the plate for strike 1. As we've said, Gosnells has had their chances. They have left the bases loaded twice. They've had a runner in every base inning so far, but haven't gotten them past first. That ball is going to be hit hard down to Stevenson at third. So the 5-4-3 double play not in time. We'll get Tinney at second. So lead runner retired on the fielder's choice there from Scaramella. And now coming to the plate will be shortstop number 42, Calvin Butler. Scaramella takes his lead from first. Bryce looks down from the mound, waiting the pitches, takes the peek over at Scaramella and throws fastball swung on and fouled away from Butler. Butler not getting cheated with that swing.
No, not at all. No one won the count from that foul. Again, just getting that one towards the foot there, and that'll make that 1-1 the count.
Welcome on a few more watchers this evening. I think I see Byron's dad tuning in, as well as the former Gosnell Hawk, Travis Kalin. Travis now doing great things in the sports world, working for Tennis Australia these days, I believe.
Absolutely.
And still swinging the big stick down in the lower grades, but I think I heard that he might even be coaching his son down at Williton.
Travis has done a terrific job with tennis, especially with the state competition there. And last year's competition, in fact, very, very exciting. 2 exciting finals in March. He's done some great things, the former Gosnells Hall player.
That ball going to be swung on, chopped high, going after the new entry into the game. Dawson George not able to make the play. It'll kick off of his glove and careen into right field. Nicholas Riley will chase it down. So Scaramella advances to second. On the bag is over at first is Calvin Butler. So runners first and second, 1 out. Stepping to the plate is going to be Jack Burt, sorry. Burt started the game on the mound for the Hawks. Courtney Jones will be just going up to make sure he and Frazier are on the same page as far as pitch signs. As especially with the runner now on second. Frazier looking Scaramella back to the bag a little bit. That ball's going to be hit hard into center field. Coming on to make the play is Drake Andrew on it, and I think he was able to make the basket catch.
He did.
So that will retire the second out. Nice piece of hitting there by Jack Burt, but a better piece of fielding there by the center fielder, Drake Andron. Nice sliding catch, keeping the Hawks at bay, not allowing them to get on the board. So with 2 on, 2 out, now batting for the Hawks will be first baseman number 2, Robin Adamson. Adamson will swing at the first offering. That will be chopped into a jumping Frazier Bryce, who will make the throw over to first, and that'll do it for the Hawks in the 5th. Through 4.5. Gosnells 0, Wanneroo 8. We'll be back after this quick break.
Good Sports provides a great deal of assistance to all associations.
We're extremely lucky that we've got an organisation like Good Sports that provide us with the education to implement the right policies.
The guidelines and resources that are available to us free of charge on the website are fantastic, easy to navigate, amazing to use, an excellent source of information for our members and our volunteers.
Good Sports has been great because they've been able to provide us a guideline to follow, and it's been a lot easier rather than setting something up from scratch. We've also been able to promote our club and get new members in and sponsors, and to know that we're doing the best we can for the community.
The legal requirements to operate a sporting association are many and varied. Good Sports provides simple, straightforward procedures to ensure that we comply with those obligations.
Welcome back to Empire Ballpark. Friday Night Lights, Harcher State League Round 3 action. Gosnells Hawks trailing the Wanneroo Giants by a score of 8-0. We're going to have a pitching change for the Hawks. That looks to be, is that center fielder?
Looks like,
I think it's Rodney Tinney, I think.
number 45, it looks like it is.
So Tinney coming in, no, 45 is Yep, 45 is Rodney. Sorry, I was looking at the Giants lineup card there for a moment. So Rodney will come on to pitch here. Get you caught up on some action happening around the world. Obviously this morning, MLB League Championship Series in the NLCS, the Diamondbacks were able to get the better of the Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 2-1. The Astros were able to even the series against the Rangers, scoring 10 and winning 10-3. So we've seen the Phillies jump out to a 2-0 lead. Games shifted to Arizona, and now it's 2-1. And the visiting team has taken each game in the ALCS so far, 10-3. We'll let Paul catch you up on a little bit of cricket action happening. Obviously, the World Cup. We'll get him caught up on that one in just a second. In the meantime,
well, it's good news for the Australians.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th will be number 9, Ethan Cooper. So the Giants now making their way through the lineup for the 4th time this evening. They're able to bat around in the first inning, getting those 5 runs. And then Tinney missing down low with the ball. What do you have for us as far as the Cricket World Cup?
Well, if you're an Australian fan, you're going to love this over there in Chennai. Just about an over to go. Australia 7 for 361 with an over to go. But Dave Warner and Mitch Marsh opened the batting. Their partnership was worth 259. Simply outstanding. Mitch Marsh, of course, one of our own in WA, as A walk has been taken. Taking the walk there, Ethan Cooper, he strolls to first. So 7 for 361. Warner made 163. Mitch Marsh, our West Aussie star, made 121. And all the others, Maxwell got out first ball and Stoinis a quick fire 21. So the Aussies, they're going to set Pakistan a really big total over in Chennai.
So Aussies off to a good start. Earlier action, India defeated
Bangladesh quite soundly as we see Anderson. He got hit on the foot, and so he's going to walk. Instant walk to first.
So Angaran hit by pitch, and the Giants find themselves in familiar spots. Once again, leadoff runners reaching. First time tonight that proved very fruitful as they scored 5 runs in the first. The second time that happened, not as fruitful as they did get doubled off. Third time it happened, they were able to plate additional 3 runs, and that's where we currently stand with that 8-0 lead. Last time Byron Armstrong was in this spot, especially with the runners first and second, he popped up with the infield fly over to Jack Burt. So Armstrong, hoping not to have history repeat itself, he'll watch that offering in the outside corner for a strike. He'll swing at that one, drive it into center field, but it's going to be right at the new center fielder, which I believe that Jay White has moved over. So Taj Varga has entered the game. Scaramella has moved over to second. So I think Jared Mackay has come out of the game. So just making a few changes here for ourselves. Now batting for the Giants is number 55, Ben King. Ben King will drive that one into center field. That one's going to get down. Runners rounding second and third. The throw home is going to be cut off by Robbie Adamson. Keeper does score, plating the 9th run of the game for the Giants. Runners now first and third. So Drake moves over to third. Ben King on first, and coming to the plate will be catcher number 11, Courtney Jones.
If you were to sum up this game, I mean, it's been a brilliant display by the Giants in both fielding, pitching and batting, every department of the game. They were challenged tonight by Gosnells. They just chipped in, they got those base hits, but they weren't able to do anything beyond. And now we're going to see the Giants again getting those runs on the board, getting those base hits. They're back to where they were at the first innings, as they say, back to square one.
So I'll go through a couple of those defensive changes for the Hawks. I think it's going to be Sam Forrest in center field. Taj Varga has entered the game as well in left field for Hall. Rodney Tinney is on the mound. And I'm thinking that Forrest came in for Mackay, as he has taken a seat, and Scaramella is over at second base right now. So defensively around the infield, Burt at third, Butler still at short, Scaramella at first, Robbie Adamson at first base. Luke Houston still behind the plate there for the Hawks. Jones facing the 3-0 pitch from Tinney. We'll see it cross at the knees for a strike on the outside corner. 3-1 the count. Angaran leading off from third. Ben King leading off from first. 1 run in this inning for the Giants. Runners first and third. Big swing there from Courtney Jones. It's going to be hit to Butler. Misplays it. Still able to get the flip to get King at second. Drake will score as the throw from Scaramella to Adamson not in time. And I think that is going to be our run rule. So after 5, the Giants have gained that 10-run lead. And that will do it for the evening. So the Wanneroo Giants able to run rule the Gosnells Hawks. Walk it off here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll be it this evening, a 10-0 win for the Wanneroo Giants. We'll go over a couple of things. Paul, why don't you give me your player of the game for the evening?
Well, it's a tough one as far as the Giants are concerned because they had contributors everywhere. But I'm actually going to go with Santich. His contributions, not only with the at-bat, but also with a couple of the double plays as well, was so important in shutting out the Hawks' opportunities to really get the scoreboard ticking if they were ever going to get it. So Santich, for me, for his contributions at the double play and also at-bat, he's my player of the match tonight. So well done to him.
Definitely not a bad one. Obviously, Jacob Santich, 2 hits on the evening that I can recall. First one was a RBI double down the right field line, a line drive single there over a jumping Robbie Adamson. His second one ended up being a triple, a base clearing triple under the diving Hall out in left field. So not a bad pick for the Giants as Santich drove in at least half of the runs. That'll do it from Empire Ballpark. Friday Night Lights, Wanneroo Giants win by a score of 10-0 over the Gosnells Hawks. My name is Guy Belair, along with Paul Persick. Big thank you to
the guys in the truck. Big
guys
thanks
in
to
the
them.
truck. Obviously, Front Row Sports Productions.
Front Row Screens.
Sports. We're watching sports tonight. Guys, sorry about that one, but big thanks to our cameramen out in the field and the guys in the box. And then again, a big thank you to sponsors, Harcher State League, Diamond Fitness, Fielder's Choice. I think that's all we've got.
But also, looking ahead to next week, just quickly, Rockingham take on South Perth here next Friday. That will be a good game. 2 sides on the fringe of the 5.
Absolutely. 2 sides looking to get into the 5. Join us next week, Friday, 6:30 for Friday Night Lights, Empire Ballpark. Front Row Screens. Friday Night Light action from Empire Ballpark. We'll see you next week.